In today's episode, Job and I are going to be talking about how documenting everyday moments is going to be able to take you to a place of more awareness and where mundane moments become magical memories just through the process of being present and wanting to collect those little bits of ephemera and memories so that you can take them back to your journal and savor them through the process of your creating and documenting. Job's also going to share some magical tips for us on how you are going to be able to, with a pen and a journal, start documenting your day right now. Nothing fancy, just get in there and get started. More than zero is always enough. This is going to be a fun one. It's going to be extremely exciting. So get your notebook and let's get started.
Gotta get messy and show the world you growing as an artist. And you're free to be yourself. You got a dream, you need to start it. Stick together. Get messy says you're formally invited to a community where you can find people that spark the feel of excitement. Too many art supplies, not enough time. No, it's tough, and so you must find a way to feel some connection. We got a lot of people with the same kind, a great mind. We here for you, a platform so we can hear your views. Time's yours, forget chores. I know you bored of them same rules.
Hello and welcome to another Get Messy podcast episode. Today we are going to be speaking to the magnificent Job, and we are just going to be hanging out, chatting and exploring all things journal related. So thank you so much for saying yes to joining us today, Job.
Thank you so much for having me, Claudette. This is amazing. And hello to the Get Messy family. Hello, everyone.
Do you want to maybe tell us a little bit about who you are, where you live, and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Job, and I run Job's Journal, and I do a lot of creative journaling. It's been something that I've been doing for 10 years, and I've been sharing it online for maybe a little bit of that time. And over those years, I've experimented with different systems, but I really love planning and journaling at the core of it. I love documenting my memories, and that's where my urge to create comes from. It's to document memories and to, I guess, make new memories while I'm journaling as well, because the act of journaling itself is so fun and I love every part of it. In terms of where I'm located, I still am Canadian. I lived in Vancouver for most of my life, but quite recently, I moved to sunny California, actually, a very big
Oh,
change for me, to pursue a creative career. For many years, I was an elementary school teacher, but I've always wanted to work in the creative field, and Job's Journal was kind of a part of that. And so when I had the chance to jump headfirst into a design job, I took took that opportunity. I moved to a different country, and
oh,
yeah, I'm
wow.
trying to live my best life right now. Obviously, there's ups and downs, but I am so happy because I get to do
Yeah.
stuff that I love every single day.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so I've got
Mhm,
a lot of questions. I love that you like
mhm,
immediately mentioned the documenting. Let's just
mhm.
hop right into it. So I
For sure.
think if I have a look at your journals and how you are documenting, it makes me realize that the way you are documenting is definitely helping you to be a lot more present for everyday mundane things
Mhm,
because you are wanting to document it, you wanting to gather little bits that you can include in your journal. So, have you
mhm.
found that the way that you live has changed because of your practice of documenting?
I really think it has, because there are instances where I'm going about my life and like I've collected, I don't know, like maybe a flyer from somewhere, and I'll think like, huh, like we could put this in the journal. Like we can paste this in, we can like try to draw it, or like we can collage with it. I think that's my biggest thing. Like if there's some cool paper in my vicinity and it's free and I'm not like, stealing anything, I'm gonna, document in my journal. And I think it kind of lets you be present of what's around you, and also like to
Mm,
appreciate just like mundane things, like a little
mm.
sticker on your fruit, like, some people might
Right?
just throw it out, but it's a nice keepsake of your day. You had a banana, and like it might not be the most earth-shattering thing, but it's still part of your day and part of your life. And I think that's super beautiful, just seeing like the little
Yeah.
small things in life, right?
Mm. I love that recently you made yourself some clam chowder
Yeah.
and you took off the labeling, but you also recorded like pouring it in and then putting the little crumbs on top. And it's
Mhm.
just, it elevates it to something that's really beautiful. And I thought that for me just captured exactly what this documenting is all about, right? Is
Mhm.
making little things completely magical.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm,
It really just elevates your everyday and like helps you be a little bit more grateful and have
yeah.
a lens of gratitude as you approach life, which is I think super
Mm.
important, especially with everything going on in the world right now.
Yeah, yeah. So, how did you start this journey? How did you realize, okay, I want to start documenting my daily life?
I think it started around 2015, so almost 10 years from now. I actually planned a big move to Korea. It's a thing in my life. I think I do a huge move every few years. But I moved to Korea for a teaching job, and I thought, wow, this is like a really interesting opportunity. I feel like I need to document it in some way. And
Mm,
I've always loved photographs and how, that so captures like a moment in time, but you can't always take a photo in every situation. Like I can't just take a photo in front of my class. So I thought documenting and just like writing was a nice way to start. And then as I started writing, I started like enjoying the act of sitting down and documenting the day through photographs and drawings and,
mm,
found ephemera and collage. And so it kind of snowballed into something larger. And ever since then, I think my first 2 years in Korea, I made sure I documented every single day. So I have
oh,
volumes
wow.
of journals that have an entry for each day, just so I could remember that really
Yeah.
interesting part of my life. And ever since then, I've tried to keep, a record of my life. It might not be daily, but yeah, moving forward from then, I don't think I've ever stopped documenting my day-to-day activities in my
Mm.
journals.
Oh, that's fantastic. Have you seen a progression? Like when you started, did you think this is the best thing ever? Or was it a bit of trial and error to find out what style you like and whether you like stickers or don't like stickers? Was
Yeah,
there a bit of a learning curve?
it was definitely like a learning curve because I think for me, I always thought of journaling like as writing, like just sitting down like a dear
Mm,
diary, and I never looked beyond that. And then when I was starting and searching up, different topics online, I realized like, oh my gosh, people are putting gouache on pages, and like, it just brought me back to high school and like and elementary school, like taking art classes and whatnot. Like, whoa, like you don't have to do art on like a canvas per se, or like it
yeah.
doesn't have to be in a sketchbook. It can be in any book. Like it didn't really click in my head. And so
Mm,
when I started, it was kind of very slow, like, oh, I'll just put a piece of tape on the corner. And also as a guy, there was not a lot of like male journaling
mm,
centered people. And so I didn't know where to look really. And it's always nice to see yourself in like the media that you're consuming. So
mm,
I was like trying to actively look for, how what other people are doing. But at some point, I'm like, you know what? Like, let's just go for it and try these things that we've seen online. And yeah, it was definitely trial and error. I think the
mm.
first few pages and first few volumes of that Korea journal, I think they're just all just writing, and you can see a slow progression. Like, oh, you can tell when I bought a fountain pen, and when there's a piece of like washi tape, and like my bus
Oh,
ticket, and then it kind of snowballed. There's like watercolor paints and acrylic paint
oh.
on there, stamping. Um, yeah, and now I think when I look back at my journals now, it's just like, unrecognizable. Like, is this the same person? But I think that's the cool part. Like, the journal
Yeah.
shows how we change and evolve as people too.
Mm. Yes, I love that. And that you've actually got a physical document to show how you were being shaped and changed as you got deeper into the practice. Like
Hmm.
I'm visualizing like this little, they always show those daisies that grow up out of the crack of tar.
Yeah. No,
I'm
exactly.
visualizing something like that, right? Because I mean, I can just think that it was very difficult to find the courage to be like, as you say, that you're not seeing other men sort of emulating what you're doing. So you
Mhm.
you really were a trailblazer, just like going out there and saying, "Well, I'm going to do this anyway." And so I think you had to sort of break through a bit of rubble to get there.
Yeah, it was. I like that little crack and like a little daisy shooting out.
Yeah. Okay, so now the other thing that I was thinking when I was looking at your journals and your photos, and it's just like it's always so much fun. It looks like you are having the best time ever. Um, so I thought to myself, I think it's going to also encourage you to look for things to go out and do. Like if I had a
Mhm,
choice between, I'm just going to stay home today and I'm going to do zero. I'm just going to lie in front of the TV and do nothing,
mhm,
or there's this really cool event happening and I could get some stickers and some ephemera and I could grab a few friends and we can have some
mhm,
photos and like it's going to be this major journal entry. I would
mhm.
be doing that thing, right? So
Yeah,
I'm sure it also helps to get you out the door and experiencing different things within your life.
yeah. I think it's funny how like it kind of propels you to do
Mm.
stuff. I'm very much a homebody and I love staying at home, but there's times where I'm like I need to get out. I just need to shake this, not rut, but like it
Yeah.
just feels like I've been at home for so long. And
Mm.
so luckily in this area, I'm very privileged that like in the LA area there's so many events happening, and the stationery and journaling community is very rich here. It's actually
Mm.
so amazing. And so there's different pop-ups and events happening all the time, and it's a nice way to connect and also to get out of the house and to like let's pick up that sticker exclusive sticker that came out and like get this little stamp from this like store. Like one of the stores here has like a stamp passport that you come every month
Okay.
for. And now for me, I'm like, oh, did I go to that store to get that stamp? Like I did it. Let's get out of the house and go and like grab a friend.
Oh,
So it's been really
I
nice.
love
And
that. Yeah.
luckily the community here again has been really amazing. So there's always something happening in the weekends, and I'm privileged enough that I can like attend some of those meetups. And yeah, it's a nice way to build community and to like get out and journal and try something new.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's fantastic. So you've got this new job, the big scary thing that you said
Yeah.
yes to and moved all over, to a whole new country again. It's not the first time you've moved to a new country, another new country.
Mhm.
Have you seen a difference in having a teaching job to having a creative job? Has that influenced how you're working?
Yeah, I think there's definitely like some transferable skills, but at the same time, there's like a whole other aspect of it that I don't think I was ever going to be prepared for. But I think it's one of those things that you just learn on the job. Um, as a teacher, you kind of work autonomously. Like I mean, you have, co-teachers that you work with, but your lessons are by yourself and you're with your students. But in the design world and like in a creative industry, you work a lot with a team, and there's a lot of like collaborative work. Not to say that there's no collaborative work in teaching,
Mm.
but there's a lot more of it. Like there might be revisions and things that you make, and um, that's a little bit scary. The first time I, got revisions back, I'm like, they hate my work, they hate
Oh, no.
it. But it's just like it's part of it. It's how you grow, it's how you learn. And um, as someone that changed their job later in life, it was so scary because I definitely felt like I had the imposter. I feel imposter syndrome all the time because I'm like, am I doing this correctly? Like, and I'm looking around. at some point you just gotta trust yourself and the skills and what you've created, and you'll
Yeah.
get feedback, but you also grow and learn from that feedback as well. And I think that's
Mm.
very similar to teaching. Like you grow and learn from your past mistakes. I guess like any job, but um, yeah, it feels nice that in both positions I feel supported, and I had a community of friends that at work that have helped me through those challenges.
Oh, and has it made you feel more creative in your journal and in your practice outside of work? Have you felt this a new creative energy happening?
I think so. At first, I was worried. I'm like, oh no, I'm doing creative stuff in the morning, and then I journal at night. Like,
Right?
what if I am like exhausted
Burnout
all
or
the
something.
burnout?
Yes.
But I honestly think it's the opposite. Like,
Oh,
you just get so like refreshed, and I work for a stationery company, so
mm,
it's just like working with stationery, and then at night, like, oh, I can actually use the stuff that we worked with. Like it's super cool, and so I think it has kind of revitalized my relationship with documenting and journaling, because uh, I can transfer,
mm,
I guess, some of like the design skills that I've picked up in my own work, and also it's just like a feedback loop. Like when you feel creative at work, you just feel creative as a person, and so I feel more creative and inspired to create, and so it's like a loop. Like the more you create, the more
oh,
you want to do it right.
yes, right. That's beautiful. I love that because I think there might be people out there that are like, I want to make creating my job, but I'm scared that it's going to mean that I'm going to feel less creative in
Mhm.
my own practice, right? And I agree. Like, the more I feel like creativity is, it's a magical thing where the more you create, the more creative you feel. It's, as you say,
Yeah,
this loop, right? It's almost like a snowball effect where it
yeah.
just one thing's feeding into the other, and it just feels as though your creativity almost doubles when you
Mhm.
are using different parts of your creative brain in different areas of your life.
No, you're so right. It's definitely snowballs in a good way. It can snowball in a
Yes,
bad
right.
way, but usually it snowballs
No,
in a
that's
good way.
good too. I live in a place where we don't have snowballs, so
Oh,
so
that's
I'm
true.
always just thinking snowballs are good things.
It's so funny.
It could be a bad thing, but no, this is a good snowball. This
A
is
good
one that we
snowball.
want to have happen.
Yes, that's
Oh,
so funny.
awesome. Oh, good. And otherwise, how have you felt that you've been able to change the creative community? Because I think a lot of people are inspired by you and your journey and your documenting. Do you sometimes feel like there's a bit of pressure to have to um, sort of be a forerunner, or are you just enjoying yourself? And if it's resonating with people, then that's good. And if not, well, it's still for you. So it doesn't
Yeah,
really matter. What's your
I
view?
I think for me, like I'm just trying to enjoy the ride and see if people are down to enjoy the ride with me. I try not to overthink it too much, because
Mm,
I get a little bit like scared and nervous. Like I always, in my head, like I'm in my own little bubble, and I don't
mm,
know. It's weird. Like I post online, but you don't rarely get to meet some people. And ever since I moved here, I've actually had a chance to meet a lot of people that have either watched Job's Journal or interacted with Job's Journal in some way online, and it's like a bizarre feeling. Like, oh my gosh,
mm.
you're a real person, and it's not just me pushing this random video or post into the
Yeah.
internet. And so I think honestly at first I was a little bit nervous about that, but I think it was the opposite. It actually like
Mm,
inspired me to create more, because hearing people's stories of they've decided that they wanted to journal, or they picked up this journal system because they saw it online. It makes me feel like,
mm.
oh, like people actually do enjoy it. Like I am not
Yes.
like I'm creating it for myself, but also like I'm happy to hear that people are enjoying it as well. So yeah,
Mm,
I think I just approach creating and like posting online as just something that is for myself. But if it helps benefit people and allows people to, be creating more. That's like my biggest like goal.
Mm,
Like I just want people to create and feel creative and document their colorful lives, because there's so much beauty around us and it's hard to notice it sometimes. And so
mm,
if there's one thing that I can put out there, it's just to make something, even if it's, if you think it's crappy, it's still better than nothing, because you're still creating
yeah.
art, no matter what you personally think about it. Like other people might think it's beautiful, and yeah, I think the act of creating it itself is already important, and it really isn't
Mm.
about the end product per se. It's about the process. So yeah, that was a long-winded way to say yes and no.
Yeah, I think it's really special when you can like actually meet somebody who you have touched, like they've gone out and done something that you inspired them to do. It's actually a real privilege to
Mhm.
be able to help people to connect to their creativity, right? A lot of people are afraid, as you say, like they're even afraid to just try something because what if that thing is bad? So
Mhm.
if you've got someone to pick up a pen and to do some journal entries, that's major.
Mhm. Yeah, small
Mm,
steps. And also like it it's it's scary to think that, there's I mean, there's people out there, even I feel every day, like you feel like you're not good enough, or you're not good at art, that you can't
mhm,
do anything. And I think that's like the biggest misconception that I think a lot of us, either realize early on in life, like, oh, I can't draw, like I'm not good at art. But like that's just something that we've, told ourselves to believe, but that's not true.
mhm.
Like everyone can make art. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It As long as you're having fun and feeling creative, that's the most important part. And I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I hope, we all, I mean, through Get Messy, even like it's so inspiring to see all these creatives inspiring so many other people. And like, I feel very happy and privileged to be, a part of this podcast. Even like it
Yeah.
will reach somebody in some way, and they'll be inspired to create. So again, thank you for having me.
Oh no, as I was saying earlier, I was so excited when you said yes. I thought the world needs to hear what Job has to say.
Oh, you're too kind. It's just little old me.
No, I know, I think that's um we've we've got like an image of ourselves, right? Like as you're saying, just little old me. But for people on the outside looking in, it's the way you create is so fun and free and spontaneous. It's just so refreshing to see. And I just love it. I think a lot of us would just it's
Oh,
just it's authentic, right? I mean, it's just so refreshing, and yeah, so it's beautiful. So thank you for putting it out there and for inspiring us. We really we need you in the world to
oh,
shine your
thank
light
you.
and your joy. That's like if I think about you, it's just like a ray of sunshine. So
Now
you're
you're
doing a
gonna make me cry on a
fantastic job.
Saturday morning, Claudette. You're too kind. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
but that really is. I mean, I think if I had to ask you, like, what is the biggest thing you're trying to spread with your art? What would you say? Would you say joy?
I think joy, and just like, I don't know how to like verbalize it, but like to just go for it yourself. Like I hope
Mm,
when people see my work, it's like, oh, I could do that. I should do that. And I hope that's the feeling that people get when they see,
yeah,
my work out there.
absolutely. Yeah, and someone that's just living life in all its facets, right? Like
Hmm.
I feel you're living it in its depth and its width and its breadth, and you're
Hmm.
just fully present in those little moments. And I think that's really that's magical.
Oh, thank you.
Mm. So, what else would you, to someone who's wanting to start, somebody looking at this journaling and thinking, I would like to try and document my daily life.
Hmm.
What would you say to them? What should they get? Where
Yeah.
should they start?
I always tell people like don't buy anything. Like look around your house and see what you have, because like we don't know what we want at the beginning. Like I bought like a bunch of stuff when I was starting out, and I realized like, oh, like I don't know what to do with all this stuff. So honestly, like I always tell people, like find a notebook. It doesn't matter even what kind of paper. If it's like an old notebook that you've had lying around, like just use that and like just try your hand at documenting. And I love junk journaling because it makes the most of like what we have around us. Like you can use newspapers and flyers and other things in your like environment and create something out of that. Obviously, like what a lot of journal and artists and art journalers do, like it's very mixed media forward, and although that requires more like supplies, like you can build your way up there. And yeah, I always tell people like start with a pen, start with your notebook. Glue, tape is gonna be important, like any glue or tape. Like if you're, pasting stuff down, and like start with collaging and doodling. And I I always think like less is more at the beginning, and then when you kind of feel like, you're enjoying this, add more things onto it. Like the stickers and washi are always fun and enticing, and I'm always like, oh, let's go to the sticker aisle. But you don't necessarily need all of that, especially when you're starting. um, but if you want to, you totally can. I'm always telling people that you don't need to buy all these things to create. Like
Yeah.
we can create with any budget, and make something out of the mundane. Or especially again with junk journaling, you're literally creating art out of junk. So I love that philosophy.
Yeah, that is a good one, because I think in the beginning, especially if you're just starting out, there is a tendency to feel like I have to have all the things, right? And as
Hmm.
you say, half the time you don't know what they do.
Hmm.
And the other half of the time, you try them out and maybe it's not even for you. So
Hmm.
I love that idea. Keep it simple in the beginning. And maybe if you want to add something one at a time and
Hmm.
see what do you like. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a
Yeah, it
good
could get
one.
it could get pricey.
Yes,
That's,
right.
yeah.
Can become a whole other month. That's a whole other snowball.
Oh, that's the scary snowball. It's fun though.
Oh
It's
no.
fun but scary. It's like, oh my gosh, how much have I spent on art supplies? Don't look at me.
Yeah. I always say it's for my mental health. Like,
Oh
can you
yeah,
put a price on mental health?
we can. So buy the gouache that you've been looking at. No. Everyone starts buying right now.
Right? Oh no. Okay, so what other things would you say, like how when you started documenting, what were important things for you to be focused on? Like somebody's, I'm just thinking, like you have a whole day. Where do you start?
Yeah,
What
it's
what would you say?
scary. I think
Mhm.
for me, I still struggle with this. Like when I am working on an entry, do I start from the top of the day or do I go straight into the highlight? And I think for me, I go where it feels the most exciting for me in that moment. Like usually when I want to journal or document about a day, it's to capture a certain moment. Like yesterday, this is such a mundane story, but I got into like a Lyft or Uber, and the driver's name was Job, and I've never met anyone named Job before. And so when I got home, I'm like, I know there was a million things that happened today, but this was one of the coolest experiences. So like, I tried to draw the car that was that I wrote in, and I just wrote about that, even though like so many things happened at work, and there were some like hiccups here and there with other stuff happening throughout the day. But that kind of just lit up my day, and I felt compelled to document that, and so that's what made it into my art journal that day.
Oh, I love that. That's and those are the things, right? It's again, it's those little magic moments where it could pass you by if you weren't consciously thinking, I want to document my
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
That that would be like a moment where it was like, oh yeah, that was cool, and then it
Yeah.
just completely passes you. But now it's documented. It's become something so much more.
Mhm. You're so right.
Hmm.
I never realized that. Yeah, that could just be like a little quick story to someone, but now it's
Right.
in inscripted into some pages out there.
I love that. And it was cool. When you I saw your post and I was like, "Oh, that is so cool." Because, like with the name Claudette, I haven't met another Claudette.
Oh my
Heard
gosh, I hope you
I've
find
heard
someone.
in my city that there is another Claudette. I have heard
Okay.
of her, but I haven't seen her.
So when you meet them, you gotta document it then.
Right? So
That's so
yeah,
cool.
maybe with people with stranger names, I think it's going to be really important when we do finally meet that other person with our
Yeah, it's
name.
like, whoa, you exist.
Uh, so what does your practice look like? Is this something you're doing daily, or is it something that you're doing in blocks of time, sort of
Mhm,
every few days, or how do you like to keep your creative habit
mhm.
consistent?
I wish I could say I do it daily, but I don't. It usually is like in like a few day chunks, like maybe 2 or 3 days. I'll like sit down in the evening. I like to create in the evening. It's when I feel the most creative. And work on a few journal pages, bust out the paints and paint markers and whatnot, and yeah, just dive straight into it. But I think for me, like documenting my life has gotten to this point where like I want a record of it. So every morning I write a little blurb in my journal about the previous day that passed,
Oh,
just for
yes.
me to remember. Because sometimes, well, my memory is not that great, and it helps me jog my memory when I do want to, sit down and document like a trip that happened or something. I have those memories that I can revisit. But I think in terms of creating like art journal pages, it's usually in chunks. But I love photography, and I love getting creative with like video editing, and like that's another aspect of creativity that I
Yeah.
like to tap into, and I actually use those mediums very often. Like I love taking photos, and I think photography is one of those other aspects of creativity that I get to participate in almost daily, just because it's a part of my job. But also I love documenting things through photographs as well.
So you were talking about wanting to document your daily life. And so I was wondering, have you ever thought, okay, I'm going to plan a trip because it's going to be so cool documenting it?
I haven't. I hope I get to that level at some point in my life where I'm like, this would be great to document, but it hasn't happened yet. But I think when I am traveling, I am very like hyper focused on like, wait, like that little sticker on that burger, or that I don't know, ephemera, or like those tray liners that you get at like
Oh,
restaurants,
yes.
like, oh, like
Yes.
we can tear a little piece of that and bring it home so we can journal about it. Like I think that's also become a little bit it's a blessing and a curse, because I come home and like I have this pouch that I bring. Like I come home like, what is all this like garbage? But it's not garbage. Like to the untrained eye, it's garbage. But for me, it's like little bits of memories from the trip. And like it's honestly gotten to the point where I have like travel journals that I want to create, and really want to sit down and like paint and like look at reference photos of buildings that I've seen and stuff. But I think I overthink it, and like now I have travel journals and like pieces of ephemera from those trips that have been sitting there for like maybe a year waiting to be documented. And I think
Yeah.
it's because I've gotten so in my head with how I want it to
Mm.
look that it hasn't been touched. So that's something I'm
Oh,
actively trying to work on, like when I'm traveling. Like I love travel journaling, but it can get a little daunting if you're you know
yeah.
anticipating some sort of end product.
Right. And I think the other thing is you want to be present and experiencing the things, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to like physically stop yourself and journal.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to sort of balance the two. So I
Yeah.
actually don't do any art when I travel. Like that's my
Oh,
rule.
okay. Yeah, like
All the supplies get
experience.
left at home.
Yeah.
Yes, for me, it's like I want to experience it. So I might document it post, but even for me, that's like, hmm, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big, it, don't come for me, but I'm not a big travel
No.
journal fan.
No, you're good. And I think it's important to be present when you are traveling because it's like it's such a gift already to be in a new place, right? Like we really should remember it to the fullest and take
Mm.
the like just enjoy our time there. So I'm with you. I actually like I always pack stuff with me, but I don't actually end up journaling. Like I come home, I'm like, it's time to go to bed. I'm not cracking open that journal.
Right? But the
Yeah.
journals are beautiful though. I mean,
Yeah.
if you see people's journals that they do manage to take along and do and sort of like create while they're traveling, they are beautiful,
So
absolutely beautiful.
beautiful.
But I've just realized like it's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm that girl when I get to home, when I get home and get to bed, like that is it.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm gonna be journaling at 8 o'clock at night.
No, it's very relatable. I think a lot of us like we have good intentions or we some of
Yes.
us want to and then like I just the moment my head like feels like a soft pillow, it's like we're gone. We're the journal's not opening anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you so much, Job. Thank you for chatting to me. It has been such a treat to be able to hear about your practice and about how you think about things and the advice that you've got for people that are wanting to start out on their journey. It's been such a treat.
Oh, thank you so much, Claudette. It was so fun chatting with you. Yeah, it was really awesome, and the Get Messy community, sheds so much amazing light on different artists, and I'm very thankful that you were able to have me and to share a little bit of my story. I'm always inspired by what you guys are pushing out, and I'm happy to be a little part of the Get Messy story as well.